So the last IP that I'm going to cover in this course and in this chapter is design. So from the third video just now, earlier before this, you would have seen that some of patent is accompanied with a design, or there are more than one protection being applied to it. So what is a design? And you will see also trademark is associated with design as well. So a design is essential and of course important for product appearance, kind of like distinctive as well. A design is of course essential for the industry as well, and it is usually referred to as industrial design. In Malaysia, under Section 3(1) Industrial Design Act 1996, industrial designs means features of shape, configuration, pattern, or ornament applied to an article by any industrial process or means being featured in which in the finished article it appeals to the eye and are judged by the eye, which means that it is only for those who are not blind, whereby they could differentiate and it could basically tells them what they are from one to another. So in design, it involves features such as lines, contours, colors, shape, texture of the product, or combination of any of them. So basically, it is the outer appearance of the article or a symbol or a mark that appeals to the eye, and you could differentiate it with your eye. However, industrial design does not include in one of these a method of principle of construction or features of shape or configuration of an article which are dictated solely by the function or are independent upon the appearance of another article as an integral part of it. So for a design to be registered, of course, to protect yourself, it has to be registered. The criteria are there must be a design. Of course, you cannot just have a word. A word is not a design. Okay? Design must be applied to an article, which means that what are they going to be used for? What do they represent? And must be applied by an industrial process, which means that how are they being designed? Must appeal to and are judged by the eye, must not constitute a method or principle of construction, and first and foremost, definitely must be new. So applications for design registration will not be considered new if it is disclosed to the public before filing. Okay, so you need to be very careful of that. An exception is given to official exhibition within 6 months before filing. But if they found out that it has been more than 6 months, then it will be rejected. So any documentation, if you were to more or less launch a new product and before you register the design, make sure that it is before 6 months. And it will also be not considered as new if it was a subject matter of another application having an earlier filing date. So number 2 is sometimes by chance, because probably some people may have similar kind of like design, so may contradict with one another. And the last one, differ only in immaterial design, for example, in features commonly used in relevant trade. For example, if you were to use the Nike design, the thick one, but you just change the color. So don't only differ in immaterial details, which is just the color, will not be considered as new, because well by right it's kind of like copying the original mark or the original design. So unregisterable design also include design contrary to public order or morality. That would include things that is offensive as well, and offensive designs to religious and moral standards. And this also applies to the example I was giving you just now. If you were to design something, try not to have it associated with any religion. The plus sign, the crescent sign, the bulan sabit and whatnot. So protection of industrial design adds to commercial value of a product or process or article and encourages creativity, of course, so that you know that a design has been there, so you just, well, give out all your creativity, produce something else. Encourage economic development, and of course also provides exclusive rights to make or import and to sell, hire or offer for sale or hire. So the protection being given if you were to register your design is up until 5 years from filing date, and you could extend it for a further 2 consecutive terms similar to the patent just now for 5 years with a total protection of 15 years. So more or less, like I said earlier on, design is associated mostly with trademark, but applicable to patent and copyright as well. Depends on what material it is. So I'm just going to give you some examples over here. So this is one of the design which is quite hot. I think about 2-3 years ago, I actually could remember, for Hari Raya. Well, we are going to have Hari Raya soon, even though under MCO. What happens is that the original design is by this, Liana Rahman. Okay? But they didn't patent it. So other vendors, other designers, they have more or less similar kind of design. Okay, this is the original design from the Liana Rahman. For any of you who doesn't know, probably you can just Google up. So other designs, okay, basically also are available in the market and at a cheaper price. So if anyone knows, these are from a boutique, so it costs more than 200 most of the time. And for this one, being sold just in your normal pasar malam and whatnot, so, and even in Chowkit or even Jalan Tar in KL, so they are being sold at less than $50. So you can imagine the difference in terms of the price. So what happens, having learned the lesson, Liana Rahman, the next year, because they couldn't control this, they did register, even though they did produce it first, because it's not registrable, they actually couldn't press a lawsuit on all these other designs. So the next year, what they do is that when they come out with designs, especially for Hari Raya, this is what they do. Can you see this? Copyright notice. All designs and prints uploaded are 2017 Liana Rahman, all rights reserved, which means that, so that would be, the design was in 2016. So the next year, 2017, they are smart, they copyrighted it. So no, they even provide this as a caution. So no work may be used for any purpose without prior written consent from the owner. Even they have a trademark number. So they have 2 IP rights here, copyright and trademark. Okay, even the trademark number is being given here. Okay, so that is being very good in business and very wise and very smart as well at the same time. Protect yourself. So this design has not been, of course, copied. People don't dare to do that because they will basically have a lawsuit by their company. So yes, I basically just put on the lines. Alright, so similarly, some of their other designs also have more or less similar notice. And you can see, okay, from this video, okay, the trademark number are different from one to another. This is 812, this is 809, because they have different design. So design has to be unique. And for your basically information, you can just try to Google up, okay, you wouldn't find any other design such as this or this, because it was designed, okay, by the designer from Liana Rahman themselves. So of course this is very unique, has been accepted. Okay, so just look at that. And these are some other, okay, from the company. So prior to that, consequently from that onwards, okay, now a lot of vendors know that Liana Rahman has copyrighted their design and even all the texture of from their clothing line. What they do, okay, is that nowadays, if you were to go to the IG or to the Facebook, you will see they don't really have this copyright notice anymore, but people know they have it. And if you were to search on any kind of the office, you would see that they have it. Okay? All their material, their clothing, their designs now, starting from 2017, has copyright and has trademark registered. So be very careful. If you were to say that, okay, this is very nice, okay, you would want to put it, okay, in your blog or vlog and whatnot, you also need to be very careful, okay, because they have warned you over here. If you were to use it, just say, I just want to add in, okay, probably later on when I finish my studying time, I would like to be a designer such as this. Don't just use it. You can also be basically sued. Be very careful, okay. So these are some of the other examples. I couldn't find any other design that do that, right? But I think this actually applies to the fashion industry, because in Malaysia there's a lot of copying of the fashion, especially from the big boutique, couture boutique and whatnot. So this is actually from Minas. This design has also been copied. Same thing. Minas, up until now, they still didn't copyright or trademark their design. They just say that it's fine if anyone wants to copy it, then it's fine. But the original idea, as you can see, paling penting originality kami masih berpisah sampai sekarang. That's the thing, that's their tagline and whatnot. But to me, okay, they should be watched, okay, and follow Rilaina Rahman footstep. And if any of you would like to more or less be kind of like an inventor such as them, well, make sure that, okay, you protect yourself by registering your design and follow it by trademark. Okay, so I think I'll just stop here. And well, like I said early on, we are going to have a kind of like discussion. I have 3 activities for you, so connect to the meeting room using Google Meet in a while.